There is no sight, obviously, so it's going to be hard to even figure out where we're aiming. Maybe we should get a little closer, but I don't know.
You want to put a target? We have some targets over there.
There's no way we're going to hit anything.
Well, just for the hell of it. Why not?
Okay.
Forget it. We're not going to be watching down.
All right. I just want to make sure it goes in nice. This is its maiden shot. Okay. Hey there everybody, thanks again for stopping by the channel here at Gun Projects. You know, if you're a returning viewer or subscriber, we really appreciate you coming back. And if somehow this is the first time you've ever stumbled upon our channel and you're new, well, I'm happy you're here. And if you like our content, you should definitely subscribe after the video. Make sure you watch this whole thing to get the most out of it. This is really exciting today. This is crazy. You guys probably saw by the title, but we actually have a brand new rifle. This thing is new. In the box. This is the original box. This is what it came in. This is, for brevity's sake, it is actually a 1978 rifle, but it is, we did get it at auction. It was sold as new. And as you can see there, it is chambered in the 460 Weatherby Magnum. These are probably, this is a pretty old box too. It's pretty neat that we got this. I would pick this up too at auction. Would definitely suck to be buying this stuff brand new because this is not cheap. We'll get into that in a little bit, but just wanted to give you guys a look at what it would look like if you were unboxing your brand new to you 1978 Weatherby rifle, or how it would have looked in 1978. Essentially, it's just one of those foam insert deals, so I'll try and slide this out. It's kind of difficult. Thanks. All right, so here's our rifle. This is what is known as the Mark V Weatherby rifle. This has been around a long time. Well, they actually don't make this exact thing anymore, but it's actually pretty hard to find these things. Not gonna lie, this took a long time and this was not cheap. Now, we didn't pay retail or anything for this, but man, almost as much. And you kind of have to, because you really just don't find these. Even the new ones are just not in stock. Apparently they don't make a lot of these. Boop. But yeah, this is really amazing to have something like this because, well, the 460 Weatherby Magnum is one of the most powerful shoulder-fired rifle cartridges on the market still. There's very few things, well, at the time it was when it came out in like 59, but it's only been eclipsed by a few things, I believe. Maybe just one. I think only the 700 Nitro Express and maybe something else is more powerful than this. But there are a lot of characteristics of this bullet and, well, the rifle itself, and it really came about because the creator of Weatherby was trying to make bigger cartridges. Well, he really wanted to make something like this. He had something that was almost as big as this, but really they were finding that the rifles that they made at the time really probably weren't going to stand up to these type of pressures, so that's where this thing came from. Mark V Action, the prototype. We started working on it in around 1955. There was a prototype around 57, and this came out in 59. And Weatherby's website does also indicate that, well, they still call the 460 Weatherby Magnum the most powerful rifle cartridge in the world, and they do denote that it came out in 59 on their website. So anyway, you got the rifle, you got the bolt, which is packaged separately, obviously. We have some original paperwork here. Well, not paperwork, but we have some original items. One, now we have opened this up and looked at this before. So we have the original instruction manual, and this thing is pretty neat. Just because it's so, it's just so of the times back in 1978. And, you know, that, like, you have your parts list and everything up here. I don't know if you could still get any of these parts or something like that. I'm sure you could probably go through Weatherby. But it's nice because, you know, it has a little bit of warranty information here, specifications for everything. And then what's kind of important is, you know, how to take out the bolt, because it wasn't, you'll see it's not exactly obvious how you take it out. We'll get to that in a second. It even tells you how to disassemble it, which is pretty crazy. That's that. And then this is the test fire shots. I assume this came from the factory. Like, look at that. How cool is that? That's still in here. So you can see down there, December 22nd, 1978, at 100 yards. That's the little group, the 3 shots. Pretty cool. Really like that this is here. I mean, this is like kind of history of this gun. Now, like I said, this rifle has been out of here before, and I know it's been out of here before because this is in here. I don't know why. Somebody put these. I don't know if they just wanted some more cushioning or something. This is from like a hotel or I don't know. So yeah, we know that this has been actually removed from the packaging before. Plus some of the foam is messed up. But I mean, this barrel is like immaculate. It really is. Look at those vents over there. And it is a very heavy barrel. I mean, this gun is heavy in general, and the bolt's not even in it. So yeah, look at the that follower. That's pretty cool looking, isn't it? You can see it's never had any type of scope mount or anything. There's no witness marks from anything that was ever mounted to it. I mean, the finish on the rifle is still like new. Let me turn it over so you can see some of these engravings. I don't know if the camera will be able to focus in there, but we have the nice engravings in there. Say Weatherby 460. We have the Mark 5. Yeah, right here indicates the Weatherby and the cartridge, and then right over here it says Mark 5, which is the rifle. And then actually under here, that's pretty cool. This nice engraving where the magazine goes. You can actually release it with this right here. But yeah, that is some pretty nifty engraving down there. It's really nice. I mean, literally just the checkering is beautiful. The finish is still like it just came from the factory. It's really awesome. I mean, this checkering, I mean, I've never felt checkering that was like this. I mean, or experienced new wood checkering. Like, I think this is walnut, pretty sure. But yeah, actually it says even says a patent number on the barrel. That's pretty cool. So yeah, this rifle, I believe, loaded with the bolt in it, weighs around 14 pounds. So it's definitely a heavy one. Now our bolt, you know, it does come separately packaged, and it is also, this is really part of that design to be beefy. And I mean, this essentially, like having these 9 individual lugs helps add to its strength. Obviously, it's just super beefy as it is. But this was pretty much part of the design that really gave it its strength with these 9 independent lugs there. Because I mean, they had a cartridge. I think it was the 378 Weatherby, and essentially the 460 is the same case, just with a 45 or 458 caliber bullet in it, but much higher pressure. And so when they were coming out with these things, they really needed an action that was strong. And I guess the one that they had currently was not working, or they didn't think it would stand up to the 460 and some of these other calibers that they had at the time. So to put it in, now as I was saying it, you know, that's why I had to look in the manual, figure out how to put it in. There's really no lever or any type of obvious thing that you would normally have to depress to get a bolt back in. But I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but I'm actually pulling the trigger right here, and you can see there's a little thing that's pulling down, a little plunger in there. That's how you do it. And the manual just said basically, yeah, you pull the bolt back, you drop the plunger in, and you pull the trigger. You're gonna, well, actually, hold on a second. Pull the trigger, and that allows the bolt to slide in. And there you go. And you really can't take that out unless that is on fire. But there's obviously nothing in here, so that would be your safe. And I mean, I don't know if you even saw that. There's some nice serrations on the bolt itself, or the bolt handle. It's really nice. Yeah, it's just really nice quality on this thing. It's crazy what they did back then. So yeah, but even look at the bolt handle. Like, it's pretty short travel. You know, a lot of them come like way up. You know, this thing just, it's kind of like minimal travel, to be honest, but pretty smooth. And it was designed and intended to be smooth as well. Like I said, 59 is when these came out. At the time, they were making them, believe it or not, in West Germany. They were scouting out some facilities of where they could build these rifles. And West Germany, apparently, that's where they did it for the first 20 years, 21 years actually. until 1970. They actually had it go to Japan they had Howa do it. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Howa, Howa. They stayed with the Japanese production until 94, when it came back to the United States in Maine, and I believe today they are made in California. But the most desirable ones are, of course, going to be that first 20 years, the ones that are made in West Germany, those vintage ones. I mean, these are pretty desirable too, if you can find them. But yeah, this is apparently a Japanese-made gun, and from what we know, I mean, there's the gun review we just did not too long ago. It was a Smith & Wesson Model 3000 shotgun, which was also made by that same company, Howa, in Japan, and that was a really neat little gun, and they definitely have some good quality. So this is a pretty amazing rifle, and I mean, obviously there's no sights on it or anything like that. It's meant to be used with a scope. This is meant for, yes, your big, tough-skinned game, like this big boy right here. That is literally pretty much what this is built. This rifle and ammunition is designed for. That, Cape Buffalo, stuff like that. But elephant. Now, when this came out, it was pretty much the most powerful thing on the market at the time. And what makes it unique is that it shoots a 500 grain bullet at around 2,700 feet per second. And it's got about 7,500 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, which for reference, the 30-06 is about like 2,600. So it's like basically three 30-06s going off at the same time. So that's one thing that was separating it from the other big game cartridges at the time, which were much bigger, heavier bullets going at a slower speed. So that's why Weatherby himself wanted something that was going to set his cartridges apart from some of these, because a lot of these guys, I guess, traditional hunters were fine with their much bigger, slower moving projectiles, but he wanted something with a lot of punch and a lot of speed and penetration. Penetration is actually key. That is why this is still today considered one of the most powerful big game rifles and calibers in the world. The only thing that technically beats it is that 700 Nitro Express. I'm sure you guys have heard of the 600, 700. I mean, we had the 577 Tyrannosaur. There's some like 505 Gibbs. There's some big stuff. The 700 Nitro Express is technically more powerful. It's muzzle energy. It's around 9,000 foot-pounds of energy, but this thing still has better penetration. The 460 Weatherby Magnum still has better penetration. Supposedly about 40 inches into a tough-skinned animal. 40 inches of penetration is what you're getting with something like this. So, I'm really kind of nervous. You guys probably want us to, just take it right out and shoot it. Now, normally we would, but you have to understand that, this ammo is not very common. It's very expensive. Interesting thing about this ammo, though, I don't really know exactly how old this stuff is. It says it's manufactured in Sweden, which is pretty funny because, the 460 Weatherby itself, like I said, was originally made in Europe, in Germany. So and this is Weatherby ammunition, like this box. So it's funny. I guess they were getting everything made over in Europe for some reason, but this is actually saying that the bullet weight was 500 grains, 2,700 feet per second. It's claiming that's 8,245 foot-pounds of muzzle energy, but most everything that I saw online, including a couple websites, they were saying it was around 7,500 or 7,600, something like that. We got this not for the typical price. If you're looking at 460 Weatherby Magnum ammunition, most of the time it's going to be around $200, give or take, for a box of 20. Now, we didn't pay anywhere close to that with this. We also got this at auction. When we got this box, took a look up here on the corner. I don't know if you're going to be able to read this. $27. Someone at some point was selling this box for $27, but you can see there that 4350, 120 grains, and then you can see right there it says 500 grain Hornady. So this is somebody's reloads. This is definitely not, I mean, you can tell these cases, this brass is not new brass. But, factory loads are definitely expensive, but somebody at some point, I don't know when, apparently at some point where they could reload these. I'm sure they were expensive back then, and sell it for $27, probably at a gun show or who knows what. But yeah, I mean, so we have 120 grains of powder, the 4350, and the 500 grain Hornady bullet is apparently what's in here. That's good to know. So that's the only ammo we have currently, and we're just, you know, after purchasing all this stuff, we made a lot of purchases recently, so we need to use these sparingly. Now we are thinking about taking it out there and at least just shooting it like maybe once or twice, just to make sure it operates. I'm sure it does. I mean, it's brand new. How could it not? But you can never put anything past us with any of these auction guns. Who knows? Is there a reason why it was never used? Why it was never shot? How come it sat in this box all these years? Why someone would buy this and just it would sit forever is kind of weird. I don't really know why, but I don't know, you know, why we necessarily have this, but I guess because we can. Maybe that's why. Because we can. Why not? If you guys have been around the channel for a little bit, you will have seen one of our most popular videos was a video we did on 40 caliber safari guns. We had the 416 Rigby, the 458 Winchester Magnum, and we had a 4570 in at that point too, just because that was the biggest stuff we had. Now, I think this is probably going to overtake the 4570. We're probably going to end up putting this in another comparison video, and I mean, this will definitely blow away a 458 Winchester Magnum. Actually, at 150 yards, this still has more energy than a 458 Winchester Magnum has at the, like, leaving the barrel. That's pretty crazy. Think about that. So anyway, I think we're going to possibly move this outside and test it out. Probably going to have to figure out some type of support or brace. I mean, I don't want to destroy my shoulder. I don't think one shot will destroy my shoulder, but this is going to be interesting. So I guess we'll see you outside. All right, so we're actually headed down to the lower part of the property because, like I said, with that 40 inches of animal penetration, you know, I don't know what it's going to do in the dirt mound where we shoot everything else. We don't want a giant crater there either, and we want to preserve the dog's ears because she's in the house, and it's still pretty loud even in the house. So we're going to go down here and take the practice shots with it, or the first shots. Yeah, so we're just going to be shooting at the berm over there. Just about, I mean, there is no sight, obviously, so it's going to be hard to even figure out where we're aiming. Maybe we should get a little closer, but I don't know.
You want to put a target? We have some targets over there.
There's no way we're going to hit anything.
Oh, just for the hell of it. Why not?
Okay.
Nah, forget it. We're not going to be watching down anyways. All right. Okay.
So you want to go first or you want me to go first?
What do you think? You want to go first?
I always go first on these.
I think you should go first.
On these big things. I mean,
okay. Yeah, let's switch it out.
Really?
Yeah, why not?
All right, fine. Oh, jeez. Well, I'm a little nervous just because, I mean, it's got this cheek rest on the stock. And, but I didn't mention before, I mean, this is pretty much like the only commercially available elephant gun, like cartridge, that you can get. So, it's pretty interesting. Just make sure there's no cars coming, because we do have a road over here. I think we're good. This is its maiden. This is its maiden. I just want to make sure it goes in nice. This is its maiden shot. Except for the first three that were on that piece of paper. Okay. Alright. Holy crap. I have no idea where that went. No idea where that went. And, I mean, this brass is already messed up, but it fell in the grass, that's okay. Yeah, I was going to say, this brass is pretty expensive just to buy, like, the used brass. I think Weatherby themselves on their website, they will sell you, like, you know, some boxes of, like, literally, like, bare brass and, like, once shot brass. I think it was, like, $20 or something for just, like, 20 empty brass shells, like, used. The trigger is pretty light, like, for real. you know, whenever you're shooting a new gun, especially something like this, I never really know how much pressure to give it because I really didn't dry fire. I didn't want to dry fire this at all, so I had no idea how. Now, this cheek rest did hit my face. I tried to keep away from it a hair because it did, I'm sure you saw it did come back quite a bit. Now, the recoil didn't hurt. I am wearing my jacket for that reason. But the buttstock is really, I mean, that made it nice. Some of those other big bore rifles we had, the buttstock wasn't as great, but that actually wasn't too bad. I mean, I don't know what it looked like on camera, but I felt like the muzzle went up to here when I shot it. Like, I don't even know if I even hit the berm, but I don't know. I could probably shoot that again. Like, it wasn't as bad as I thought. So, I don't know. You want to try it now?
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. Is the safety on?
It's off.
Okay. Yeah.
That's fun.
That sounds so loud. I mean, with even with ear protection, that sounds insanely loud.
All right, so got one more round. This is this will be after I shoot this. If we would have bought this ammo at, you know, market price, we would have already went through $40 of ammunition. They're pretty much, that's what they're coming to, about $10 a shot. All right. Yeah, it's really hard to catch those coming out. It didn't hit my face that time. Yeah, that smarts a little bit. Okay, so just got back up from that. Wow, that was pretty crazy. I actually was getting a little bit of an adrenaline rush before that the first shot. Kind of thought it was going to be a lot worse and a lot more painful than it was. Thankfully, it wasn't. I mean, it was still pretty big. Definitely the biggest thing I've ever experienced as far as, you know, muzzle energy and stuff. But wow. So I guess that's what shooting at an elephant feels like, is doing that. But I guess, I mean, I can't even compare it to probably what type of adrenaline those guys are experiencing with an actual giant animal, you know, in front of you or whatever, because this is actually what people use. At some point we're going to get our 416 Rigby and 458 Winchester Magnum together, and we're going to have a comparison, hopefully be able to shoot all three. The only reason we aren't doing that today is because we didn't bring those two other ones. We don't have them with us right now. Interestingly enough, this round, the 460 Weatherby Magnum, came from the 378 Weatherby Magnum, which was inspired by the 416 Rigby. Interesting. So, yeah, those are our first 4 shots. I don't know what we're going to do with this brass. It's probably no good now. They've been shot twice, you know, because these are reloads, but pretty interesting stuff. Yeah, we already watched the footage of ourselves. I definitely might have got blown back a little bit on the first shot. I don't think I had the greatest stance on that one, but that was pretty fun. So can't wait to eventually get it back out again. So listen, guys, really appreciate you stopping by. If you liked the video, please give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed, I think you should. It would be really, really awesome if you did. You'd help us out a lot, and I think you'll enjoy the content coming up. So stay tuned and have a good day.